She's going to be your daughter-in-law. How can you keep her location hidden? You were both at Jim and Nicole's house. You were both so happy that Brian and Gabby got engaged and were planning to spend their lives together. Please, if you or your family have any decency left, please tell us where Gabby is located. Tell us if we are even looking in the right place. All we want is for Gabby to come home. Please help us make that happen. And that was from Jim Schmidt, Nicole Schmidt, Joe Petito, and Tara Petito. At this time, I'll take some questions.
Rick, what do you make of, or how is the family feeling about the release of this body camera video that shows this fight between them?
The family's not going to discuss any facts or anything to do with the relationship between Gabby and Brian. They were asked by the FBI to not discuss that.
Can they talk about how they feel seeing their daughter?
Listen.
She's obviously upset on the video.
The family is devastated. Every day that this goes on, they get more and more desperate. They're at the point that that desperation is turning to anger. They know that the Laundries know where their daughter is, and they will not tell them. That's infuriating. Yes.
Have they been able to locate her cell phone, and when did they become aware of August 12th?
I'm not going to talk about what the FBI is doing and what their investigation is. All I know is that the FBI and the law enforcement agencies that are handling this are the best in the country, and I'm sure they're doing a great job.
When did they become aware of this last week to the Laundrie family, whether Brian, Chris, or Roberta?
I know they reached out on Friday the 10th, and I believe again on the 11th, and the Laundries refused to answer those. They stayed silent. And as you know from the Northport Police Department's press conference, I think it was yesterday, that Brian was back in Northport, Florida on September 1st. So that was over a week later. And
Can you provide a little bit more of the characterization of what the message was to the Laundries at that time?
I will not.
Ms. Starver, just to get a little bit of a timeline, how long was the couple on Long Island before they headed to Wyoming, and where did they go along the way? So we kind of have an idea more about the trip.
I know they were out here. Their Gabby's brother had a graduation from a local high school, from their school, and she came up for that to spend time with their family. And then I believe on July 2nd, they began their trip.
When did the parents become aware of the video, the incident on August 12th?
I'm sorry.
The incident on August 12th.
When they become aware. I'm not going to discuss when they became aware of the videos or anything to do with the videos. Thank you.
Were they aware of the incident? Wyoming. Were they aware of the incident at any time with August 13th, 14th, 15th? Were they aware that that happened?
Again, we're not going to discuss anything about that incident. We were asked by the FBI to not discuss it.
Okay, in regard to the presser today,
Give us the latest on him. Is he working on some type of a search? A grid search?
Jim Schmidt is out in Wyoming, as you guys know. He felt he needed to be there. We have family in New York and in Florida, and he felt he needed to be out there to be the contact person as well as to do what he can out in Wyoming. I'm not going to get into his specifics, what he's doing, but again, the whole Petito and Schmidt family is doing everything they can to find Gabby.
in regard
Yes.
to the Florida presser, the police chief who gave that talk today, he said that Landry's lawyer provided some property that they requested. Do you know anything about that?
We don't know anything about that. Again, I'm not going to comment on what the police are doing. I know they're doing a great job. And I just hope everyone, again, pulls together and helps us find Gabby. And again, from what I've been seeing for the last few days, everyone is doing that, but Brian and his family.
In regard to the questions they were asking about ADD, or not ADD, the mental OCD and the conditions or the disorder that she was referring to. Is there any comment on that?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Remember the August 30th text? Is there any other, she implied she had received a message on August 30th, but wouldn't detail it. Can we talk about that now?
I'm not going to get into the content of the message. I believe that's out there. It could be. But what I will say is that the Petito and Schmidt family don't believe that message was sent from Gabby.
And Mrs. Stafford, they were engaged. We
It's my understanding they were engaged, and I know they decided with the pandemic they couldn't have a wedding or the wedding they wanted, so that was put on hold, and they decided to go on their trip instead.
And was the plan eventually to drive back in the van? I know Portland, Oregon was like I think one of the final destinations. They mentioned maybe California and the body cam video, but was the plan to always come back in the van together?
From what I know, they were going to go to Oregon on by October 2nd, and they were going to spend time there. I don't know what they planned on that afterwards, but I do know that since they were supposed to be out there till August 2nd, Brian's family knew that when he showed up on September 1st, that, you know, they knew that was against their, you know, their plan. And again, when the police showed up over a week later, they already had an attorney's name and contact information for the police. So again, we're asking the Laundrie family to come forward and tell us what you know. Tell us at least where to look.
And with the August 30th text, I know you can't say what it is, but what about it made it pretty clear to the mom it's not her daughter? Was it just not the way she usually speaks? Can you just characterize it a little bit?
I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to say the family doesn't believe that was her with the text. Anything else? Thank you very much, guys. And I do have copies of the letter, and I can hand them out.
Thank you.
Richard, I go by Rick. I've always worked in office.
No. All right. Thanks. We should. Sure. Chris? Sure. Well,